I think we might be at that time, guys. Should we start building the home server? There is one specific reason why I wanted to build a new home server. This right here, man. This is the whole reason why I wanted to build a new home server. A couple weeks ago, when we were upgrading my video editor's PC at the office, his old PC had a 12-core 3900X. And if anybody knows anything about home servers, your home server gets the parts from your old gaming PCs. That's just how it works, man. If you got that kind of money to just buy hardware specifically for your home server, then that's a whole new level. I cannot relate to that. My home server gets recycled parts. And since we upgraded my editor to a 9900X, that means this 12-core 3900X is for me. And dude, that is a great starting point for a home server. I'm very, very happy about that. That's the foundation. Now this I had to buy. I forgot that there is not many micro ATX like good AM4 motherboard. I mean, there's some good ones, but like I don't even know. Do they even make X470 or X570 motherboards? I forgot about. I remember thinking this years ago, but there are not a lot of like super high quality micro ATX AM4 motherboards. Almost every AM4 build we do is budget, so we don't spend a lot of money on the AM4 motherboards. But I grabbed this one. This was actually a ZTT deal. If you got like one or two tops, yeah. I remember saying that on stream, like there are no X470s or anything for micro ATX. But if you guys are in the Discord server, you can type in !Discord. We have a ZTT deals channel. This was actually one of the deals a couple days ago, which is why I got it. And I checked right before the stream started. This is still on sale. $70. This is one of the better B550s, the Gigabyte B550M Gaming X Wi-Fi 6. If you're in the market for a better than budget micro ATX AM4 motherboard, this is only $70 over on Newegg right now. So that's going to be the motherboard for it. For RAM, this was also pulled out of my editor's PC because I don't have enough money to afford this if I were to buy it brand new. This is 64 gigabytes of G.Skill Ripjaws DDR4. These are 16 gig kits because we need a lot of RAM for video editing. 3200 megahertz, CL16, like literally perfect. So we got 64 gigabytes. Right here, we will recycle his build. Again, this is very typical home server stuff here. You just recycle whatever parts that you were using. Now for storage, that's a different thing. I didn't have storage from his PC because we used his old SSD for the new build. And I didn't have enough time to order new SSDs, and SSD prices are kind of ridiculous right now. So I just grabbed, this one's a little over the top, I'm not gonna lie. I grabbed a 1 terabyte Silicon Power UD90 and a 4 terabyte Silicon Power UD90. These are both Gen 4 drives. And what we're gonna do is I'm going to install my operating system for the home server on this 1 terabyte drive. And then I'm gonna put all of the virtual machines on a separate drive. If you ever create a home server where you want to create VMs, you can absolutely run the VMs on the same drive as your host operating system. It is a little bit more meta to separate them because in a VM, depending on what that VM is doing, dude, that thing is constantly read and writing over and over again. And you don't necessarily want all of those read and write cycles just going nonstop on your host operating system. So I'm going to separate them out. We do have 2 M.2 slots, so that'll work perfect for us. The downside of this type of setup is this is going to be a single point of failure, where when you're building home servers, reliability is a little bit higher of a priority compared to a gaming PC. If I really wanted to focus on reliability and uptime, then I would have got 2 of the same SSDs, put them in RAID 1. That way they mirror each other, and that way if one goes down, the other one keeps running and all as well. For the home server that this is going to be for, uptime isn't my 100% most highest priority, so I'd rather just have the extra storage, to be honest. And I didn't want to buy 2 4 terabyte drives because that would be insanely expensive for just a home server. So that's my methodology for that one. I'm sure people are going to ask throughout the night. To cool the 3900X, we have very limited options for cooling. And I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of worried about this one. We might need to go to eco mode. I actually don't know. But we're going to be building in a server rack case that is not that high. So this is what I decided on. This is the Noctua NHL9X65. This is a 65 millimeter height CPU cooler, and this is about the very maximum that is going to fit inside our case. I'm pretty sure, I don't actually know, but I would have to imagine that this is the best possible option. I didn't want to buy a cheap one because it is a 12 core 3900X, so that's why we're going with this. More like Hawktua. Okay, that's we got that. For a GPU, this I'm actually recycling out of my previous home server, hence the slight amount of dust in there. We can clean that up. This is a low profile, because it has to be a low profile card. GTX 1050 Ti. We do not need video processing power for this home server, and this just happened to be the only low profile card that I have left, and I definitely did not want to buy a new low profile card just for this server, so we're going to use this. This actually worked very well for my previous home server, hence why it's dusty. I used it a lot. It was sitting in there for quite some time. I also don't have the I/O plate in the back, but that's fine. For powering all that, we don't need a ton of power, but this was sitting on our inventory shelf. This thing surprised me, man. I did not know that this could be serious ignorance, but I have never seen this before in a power supply. Please feel free to correct me if you guys all knew this ahead of time. This is the ASRock SL650G. I'm pretty sure this is rated Tier B. Fully modular power supply. ATX 3.1. But it doesn't have 12-volt high-power connectors. I have never seen an ATX 3.0 or an ATX 3.1 power supply that did not come with 12-volt high-power connectors. I understand that the ATX certification isn't about 12-volt high-power connectors, but I thought that it was just always a match. Am I wrong? This is the first one I've ever seen. Did you guys know that that was possible? I've never seen one either. I understand that, like, nothing is wrong here. Mine doesn't have one? Wow. Yeah, I understand that, like, nothing is, like, it's not a mistake or anything. The only mistake is we bought it. I bought this thinking that it would have a 12-volt high-power connector for a different video. So this has been sitting on the inventory shelves for that reason, because I meant to use this for an NVIDIA build, and I couldn't. All right, and finally, the case that we are going with, I've used this a couple times now. I actually really like it. I don't remember who it's by. I think I know. This is what we're going to be putting everything inside of. I'm pretty sure this is from Rosewill. It's definitely not going to be labeled. Pretty sure this is from Rosewill. This is a 2U height server. For anything that's server rack based, the unit of measurement for height are U's. 1U, 2U, 3U, etc. This is 2U's. So the smallest things we'll get are a 1U, which is half the height of this one. It's really difficult. It's possible, but it's very difficult to build PCs inside 1U height servers. 2U is still pretty restrictive because this is not high at all. That's why our low profile card will fit in here. But yeah, this is the case that we're going to be using, and I can show you what it looks like inside real quick. I got to unscrew these two screws real quick. 5090, yeah, I don't think a 5090 would fit in here. Worried about your cooler? The cooler will fit. I have actually put this exact cooler, just a different color, inside of here before, and it did fit. It's about the maximum. It's about the maximum. I don't think you can even get a 70 mil tall cooler. I think 65 is going to be very close. This is what the inside of it looks like. I have already, from my previous build, added 3 80 mil Be Quiet fans up here at the front. That way we have some nice front to back intake to exhaust. I'm going to probably end up removing all of these HDD trays because we definitely do not need them. But other than that, this is just a standard micro ATX style layout here. We're going to put our motherboard here. The low profile GPU is going to go here. And then the power supply is going to go down here. And since we're using a modular power supply, we shouldn't have any cables other than the 24 pin and the 4+4. So we should be able to make it nice and tidy. We do have some excess case connectors, which we're not going to use. And then we got to figure out how to route these fans up nicely. But yeah, that is the parts list. Looks pretty spacious. Yeah, it's not terribly difficult to build this one. A one user, very difficult. And then 4U, my home theater PC that's in my server rack, that is a 4U height, which is about here. And at that height, you can fit a full-size desktop graphics card mounted in there normally, which is where I have that ugly 4080 hiding. But yeah, that is the parts list for the home server. But here's our motherboard, the Gigabyte B550M Gaming X Wi-Fi. Why am I using a gaming motherboard with a home server? Great question. They just don't really make AM4 micro ATX motherboards that are geared towards... This is a weird Wi-Fi antenna, by the way. That are geared towards home servers. Why a Wi-Fi board? I did not buy it because it had Wi-Fi. That was not factored into the equation at all. Like I was saying, this was on a $70 sale, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think you can find a better AM4 micro ATX motherboard for $70 right now. That seemed like a very good deal. Is it still on sale? It is. I just checked right before the live stream. If you join the ZTT Deals channel in the Discord server, you can type in !Discord. It was the deal maybe 2 or 3 days ago. $70. I actually bought 2 of them just because of how good the deal was. The max order quantity was too. So yeah, I definitely took full advantage of that. I'll use the other one for another budget AM4 build guide or something for the YouTube channel. All right. Again, this is the whole reason we're doing a home server, is because when you have... Dude, come on! Dude, come on! Oh my god, what are we doing here? Thank you. Whenever you happen to get a 12-core 3900X from a recycled system, you gotta put it to good use, man. So that is exactly what I plan on doing. We're gonna rotate that 90 degrees. That way wow, you can barely see that triangle. The triangle in the upper left-hand corner, now upper left corner, is matched up. Set that down in there. Still got thermal paste on it from the previous build. Lash that down, and we are good to go. Now the build has officially started, the home server build. Next up, we're going to grab our RAM. Again, my editor had 64 gigs of this G-Skill Rip Jaws 5. DDR4. I did not buy this recently. Otherwise, it would cost several $1,000s. And I got the ASMR on lock here. Let's see if we can make it happen, man. We got 4 shots to get a banger. Okay. Okay. That one's not too bad. That one's not too bad. This one's probably gonna be better though. I'm warmed up now. Oh, that was weak. That was weak. That was not okay. Alright. Here we go. Oh my god, why are these sounding so bad? Oh man, I'm folding under the pressure here. We got one last shot at it. This has to be a good one. Second one was atrocious. I know, man, that was awful. All right, this one's gonna be good, I promise. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of butchered that. That did not sound great. Okay, now we're gonna install our 2 SSDs. Again, this 1 terabyte drive is going to be for the operating system of the home server, and then I'm going to have a separate 4 terabyte drive specifically for VMs. Probably a little bit overkill. I don't plan on using that amount of storage anytime soon, but that will give me some flexibility, so I don't have to worry about storage for a few years, hopefully. All right, so we're going to put the operating system, the 1 terabyte drive, up at the top. Like so. And then this doesn't need any tools. This is just a plastic thingamajig. Is that in? Yeah, we're good. And then we're going to install the 4 terabyte drive as the secondary drive in the same exact way, but we will put that down here. Like that. There we go. Both SSDs are installed. So why an operating system then regular? When you're running virtual machines, especially if they're virtual machines that are like cranking away or self-hosting a software or just being used, that is constantly putting read and write cycles on the SSD. And you could definitely do it on the same operating system. Like, it's possible. It's probably a better practice, though, to separate them out. You'll get better performance as well, because the SSD that's holding your operating system is not being bogged down by all of the virtual... Like, you could put... With this amount of RAM and this amount of storage, dude, I could have 50 VMs running. You know, we can have a lot of virtual machines running. I don't necessarily want all of those read and write cycles going on where my operating system is happening. Again, you can. This is just what I decided to do. The alternative could definitely be setting up a RAID 1. RAID 1 is where you would use 2 of the same drives. You wouldn't get double the capacity. Like if I had 2 4 terabytes in RAID 1, I would only get 4 terabytes of usable storage. But they would mirror each other. And if one of them fails, your system would stay online and good. That would be a best practice for, like, out in the real world. Well, RAID 10 is probably a better practice, but regardless. But for a home server build, I'm not terribly worried about my uptime. Specifically this server as well. So this is our CPU cooler of choice. Again, this is the Noctua L9X65. This is specifically a 65 millimeter height cooler. We cannot go any higher than this for our little 2U server rack case. I have used this before, except the Noctua Brown version. And it worked quite well. I have never used it with a beefy 12-core 3900X though, so we will see how that goes. But that is why I got that. Leon with the Twitch Prime sub, thank you. Oh no, I already said that. Stoy with the 4-month. Appreciate that. Okay, how do we install this though? Intel, AMD. Which one's AMD? Are we doing an operating system today? If this all goes well and smooth, we might have time to actually load Proxmox on here. I actually set up a USB drive just in case. Dude, where's AMD, man? There we go. Oh, wow, that's interesting. Oh, north. Oh, they're labeled north and south. Wow, look at that convenience, Noctua. Dude, I like it, man. They're actually, these bridges are actually labeled. Check that out. And it shows you the direction of where the CPU is. I don't know how well you can see that. That is, that's pretty fancy, man. Got the north and south bridges. That's just gonna plug into the top screw. Oh, top screw for both. Wow, I would not have instinctually done that. Okay. Oh, wait, no, there's a standard position. Wait, which one? I could plug it in the top or bottom. On AM5 and Ryzen 5000/3000 series AM4 CPUs, choose the -7mm offset hole. Okay. Okay, I think I can do that. That's us. -7. That's the top one. And the top. Okay, all right. That's what we need. I think I can handle that. Let's do it. Okay, so what we're going to do first, I'm going to remove these plastic bridges that came with our motherboard. Why do you have multiple servers? Why not run everything on one? Because usually in the home server world, you are building up as you go. And if I could have just 10 years ago built one huge home server and spent all this money on it, then yeah, that probably would have been an easier route to take. But when that's not the case and you're constantly like upgrading and using spare parts and not spending money on your home server, you're just using the recycled parts from your old PC or whatever you scrape up, you don't usually have that luxury. Most people's home servers are similar to, not necessarily similar specs, but similar to the style of, hey, I just upgraded this PC, now I'm going to use my spare parts on a home server. That's what a lot of people do. So you don't necessarily have the most meta long-term play here. We're just using what we got. All right, I'm putting it in the 7mm offset like the instructions said. I hope that works. Screwdriver, this is the LTT screwdriver. The transparent option. Okay, now this is where it kind of gets weird, man. My OCD is not loving how we're in the top of both instead of symmetrical, but I trust Noctua. What's the point of a home server? I mean, you can do a ton of things with home servers. I would recommend watching videos about like what projects to start. I always recommend starting with a media server. Oops, wow, that could have been awful. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's install this now. This is gonna go like this, I believe. Like that? Yeah. So we will remove this fan first. That way we have access to the screws. And before I put on thermal paste, let's just line that up and make sure. Yeah. Yeah, they were right. That'll fit. Okay. So we will install it like that. We're going to use Noctua's very own thermal paste here. Going to give it a healthy... Whoa, 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 whoa. That comes out fast. Going to give it a healthy pea-sized dot right there. Make sure we get full coverage of our 12-core, 24-threaded 3900X. Like that. And then I will install it like this, I guess. Actually, I'm going to do it like this. That way I can see the screws going on here. Like that. Like that. Gonna do just a couple turns on that side. Couple turns on that side. Even out that pressure a little bit. And then I can start ratcheting them down. Install it upside down, dude. Never again. I'm done with that. No thank you. Alright, that one's locked down. And then that one's locked down. So we got that, and then we're gonna just reinstall our fan. And that will be good to go. Like this. Loop that under. Hook on these hooks. Like so. Oops. And then lock that under. And then boom. That fan is on there. We will find the CPU fan header on the motherboard. Neatly tuck in and hide that cable. And boom. Our motherboard installation is complete. I mean, I know we're not going to be able to see it in the home server, but like, dude, that's looking kind of clean. It's really this that's doing. I mean, the CPU cooler actually looks very nice too. But the fully populated RAM slots, man, that is not a look that we're used to seeing anymore these days. That's so satisfying. I love that. Actually looks clean. Pretty good for a home server, man. Okay, we're good to go. We got our B550M Gaming X Wi-Fi motherboard, the 12-core 3900X, the Noctua L965 low-profile CPU cooler, 64 gigs of G-Skill DDR4 RAM, a 1 terabyte Silicon Power UD90 for our operating system, and then a 4 terabyte Silicon Power UD90 for all of my virtual machines. There we go. That is all prepped and ready. Now we're going to get out the power supply. Actually, we're going to clean this up a little bit. No SSD covers. No, I mean, the motherboard didn't come with them. They're Gen 4, more on the budget side. We are not going to have any issues with that. Yeah, see, I already unboxed this, thinking that it had a 12-volt connector for that previous build. It did not. I was disappointed. Now for cables, this is going to be super simple. Hello? Oh my god. Nothing close to simple. We need a single 4+4 and the 24 pin. And that is it. I specifically wanted to use a fully modular power supply for a case like this. I think I made that mistake last time with a previous home server build. You got to find somewhere to put all those excess cables. Since our GPU doesn't require external power, we only need these two cables. Watch him find a 12-volt high power connector in there. No, dude. I was hoping. I was thinking there's no way it didn't come with a 12 pin. Not these days. I was wrong. But that's how we learn, man. Alright, I'm gonna plug in this 24 pin. Try to. Wrong side. That will never work. There we go. Shapes. Plug these two in for the 24 pin. And then this for the 4+4 for our CPU. Quick double check on all of those, and this is good to go. Our Steel Legend power supply. That's it, man. That's all we need. And again, if you missed it, that is just because we are using this low-profile 1050 Ti. Don't need a beefy GPU for this type of home server project. So I'm just using what I had. This is a little This has some miles on it, man. This is a little dusty. Not terrible. But just a little 4 gig 1050 Ti. All we need on it is video output. The 3900X does not have integrated graphics. So I also just don't have the IO plate for this, but it's fine. It's in a server rack. It's absolutely not going anywhere. But yeah, that's why. So let's get out our little 2U server rack and we can start building. This is what it looks like, man. The first thing I want to do is I actually want to remove these. So these are HDD trays because you'll typically see these if you buy a server chassis. Because a lot of people that build servers, they need HDD storage for 3.5-inch drives. These can each hold 2, so it can hold 6 total HDD drives. We're not putting a single HDD drive in here, so I'm going to take all of these out before we start. Did you guys see my video about the HDD shortage now? I think that video went live today. So we are not only in a RAM shortage or an SSD shortage or a DRAM shortage. We are now also in an HDD shortage. So if you were planning on buying some HDDs, which you're probably not, but just in case if you were, now would probably be a time to do it. Because those are going to go up in price. Still rocking my 1050 Ti low profile? Nice. I'm about to join you once this is built. Do HDDs still enjoy a cost advantage over an SSD? Definitely in the high terabyte region, yeah. I mean, HDD. How big are consumer HDDs these days? I don't know. They're probably up to what, like 24, 26, something like that, terabytes. No, not 12. 24. Yeah, I would imagine it's somewhere up there. 24, 26 or so. 32? Do they really have 32? Like what can you buy from Amazon? I know that there's definitely higher ones, but like the readily available HDDs. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, you're obviously not going to buy an SSD with that kind of storage. So there's still obviously an advantage of HDDs in that regard. But I have actually no idea how much I don't even know if do they sell 1 terabyte HDDs anymore? I don't even know. 40 terabyte HDDs are available for purchase. Wow. Wow, that got up there. How do I remove this one, though? What the... Oh. Oh! Do you guys see that? The LTT screwdriver. There's 2 screws down here. That is definitely not going to fit. I know what will fit, though. I don't use this screwdriver often. But when I do, it comes in super clutch. 10 times out of 10. It has never failed me yet. Where are we at? There we go. This legendary beast right here from Be Quiet. This Be Quiet screwdriver, this came with a Be Quiet CPU air cooler. I don't know how long ago that was, man. That was a little bit right before AIOs started taking off. But it came with this super high quality skinny screwdriver, and I've been using it ever since for exact situation. Look at that, man. That barely fits. I don't think I would have another screwdriver that would work here if it wasn't for this one, man. That is my only screwdriver like that. That thing is clutch 10 times out of 10. Okay, so this is what we're left with. Now, yeah, we're not going to need any of these screws, I don't think. I did install these Be Quiet fans whenever I was using this server case before. The case does not come with those, just as a heads up. These are 3 80mm Be Quiet case fans. They are just PWM connectors, and then I have this little deep cool 4-port PWM hub on here. So we can leave that over here for right now. We got to figure out how to properly cable manage that. And then this is what comes with the case. So we have USB 3.0 for the 2 USB connectors up there. We got the normal power switch and reset switch. I hate how these are super ugly, but unfortunately we don't really get a ton of aesthetics in the server chassis world. And then I don't actually know what these are for. Oh wait, never mind. These are HDDs. That's just the normal HDD LED power LED. I don't actually know what this is. Oh, almost ripped it right out. I don't actually know what this is for. It says VCC, data minus, data plus, and ground. Does anybody know what that is? I definitely did not plug that in last time. That's what we're working with. We will plug in as much as we can. Actually, should I just unplug this whole thing? I don't need any of this. Oh no, I actually should use my power LED. No, actually I do want my power LEDs. If there was ever a time that I cared about power LEDs, it is actually in a server rack, because you can't see anything. You can't see if anything's spinning or what when it's inside a server cabinet. So I actually do want to plug that in. Okay. Twist tie on the fan hub. Ooh. No. Not up in here, ma'am. Not up in here. In a home server, especially? No way. Not my build. No, thank you. I'll finish. We'll figure out how to cable manage all this after we install stuff. We'll save that for the end. I want this to look nice. Okay. There we go. Now we can start installing. We should have all the standoffs in the right places. So this is just going to install up here, just like a traditional gaming PC case. Like that. And then the power supply is going to go right below it. Are we all tracking? That all makes sense? I need screws. I don't have screws. Actually, those screws that I threw down there, those will probably work. Let's see if these work. Your giveaway link is bringing me to a white website? Okay, that's the second... Okay. That's the second time now somebody has said that. I mean, I know it's still working for a lot of people. But, is the giveaway link working for most people right now? There's always somebody with an issue. But, I don't know, man. That's the second time. Is it legit? We got something going on? It's working? I don't know what to tell you, man. Sorry. I would try a different browser, or get off your phone, or what? I don't know, man. Yep, just bought a ticket. There we go. That's what I like to hear. You guys got to earn those points. Works for me, but it's hard to understand. If you don't understand how the giveaways work, type in !! giveaway help. That'll take you to a quick, like, 4-minute YouTube video that explains everything you need to know. I think that video is over a year old now, but we've been running. This is our 15th. That PC right there is our 15th giveaway PC that we've done with this method while live streaming. So we've been doing this for quite some time now. That video is still relevant. That's ! giveaway help. Got one more screw up here. Sorry for the bald spot. How is that bald spot looking, by the way? Usually I can catch it with the OBS delay, but I missed it that time, man. Is that still looking bad? All right, that's all installed. We're good to go. Looks good? All right, let's start plugging in some stuff. What do we got here? We got our USB 3. Plug that in at the bottom. Like that. We have all of these connectors, which will be our... We got HDD, light, we got power. I know you can't really see what I'm doing, you're just gonna have to trust me. Power LED down here. I'm trying to keep my thinning bald spot out of the way, sorry. Power LED negative over there. And then we also got some way more important reset switch. Well, not that one, but power switch. That's what we need. Power switch. Okay. That is all plugged in. Still have no idea what this is for. Yeah, I really don't know. Well, we just won't plug that in, man. That might be like a real not messing around server deal. We'll deal with that one later. And now we can just install the power supply, right? Let's do the power supply. Usually when all of chat is saying the same thing, it's either an organized troll or it's legit. Honestly, I don't know. I'm up in the air on this one. I need some screws here. None of those. What about these? Oh, dude, we're in a screw shortage. I got some. Okay. Dude, I got Painful on deck, man. Like, this is what he does. Prison Mike knows. I trust Prison Mike. What's Prison Mike say? Not sure, don't put it in? Dude, I'm definitely not putting it in. Clearly it's RAID 9 3/4. Why would you plug 4 wires into a 5-pin? Well, you say that, but you can plug 3-pin fan into a 4-pin header. So it's not the most outrageous thing to do, man. Sometimes the numbers just don't add up. Okay, I need to... I can't go lefty. I just am not coordinated enough to go lefty here. Oh, actually, is my power supply upside down? No. I think this is the orientation I want. Why is this not screwing in? There we go. There we go. Alright, we got the pin out. We got the pin out. Thanks to Painful here. Alright, USB 1, USB 2. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so this is what it typically looks like with the blank up here at the top left. Painful is saying make sure the ground is towards that no pin. And yeah, that's just a dummy connector for orientation purposes. Wow, I had no idea. That is very impressive. Thank you, team. As a collective, I am very happy with that. I am going to now confidently plug this in. Like so, the ground is closest to that empty pin. Plug it in up top there. Now we have 2 functioning USB ports. Thank you. Neither did I. Yeah, that's a good learning moment right there, man. Not that you'll probably ever have to utilize that little bit of knowledge, but now we have it. Sometimes you gotta trust chat. Sometimes. You're right. Sometimes. What do you guys think the percentage is? How, what's the percentage that you can trust chat? I'm going to swap this little PCIe bracket before I forget. That needs to come up to this slot. Maybe? Oh, wait, like that? No. Wait, yeah, it has to be like that. Wait, how does... Was that a special one? Guess we'll just do it like that. So real, though. More than Reddit? Yeah, Did you guys see that ZTT made it to the Reddit homepage again? Not for anything good, don't worry. Did you guys see that by chance? Oh man. I don't know about Reddit these days, man. Okay, there we go. All right, I think we're good. I think we're ready to cable, or no, let's plug these in, then we can cable manage. Okay, let's plug this in. 24 pin. Plugging in up here. Like so. And then we just got the 4+4. I probably should have cable managed these separately, but... no, we still might be good. Yeah, we're probably gonna have to unplug some stuff. I don't know what path I'm gonna take of cable managing yet. That's boomer energy? That's what I was thinking. Yeah, to me that had boomer energy written all over it. I want to unplug this. You forgot the cable extensions? Oh man, my bad. Zach, I spent $190 on RAM. Yeah, welcome to late 2025, man. It's actually not a terrible deal. We have already purchased multiple kits over $200. It is what it is. All right, we got that, and then we got the 4+4 up here. Actually, wow, that's not even gonna reach. If I want to make it neat and tidy, so we'll use this one over here. Sorry about the thinning bald spot up there, man. Okay, that's plugged in like so. And then, okay, everything is plugged in, man. We just got to do a little bit of cable managing. Which I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. Do I do these separately, or... Yeah, let's worry about power supply later. I don't need it to look amazing, I just don't want it to look atrocious. It looks spacious? Yeah, I mean, we got space, it's just... There is zero help cable managing. Like... There's no zip, there's no tie down points, or obviously Velcro straps, or anything of that nature. We got absolutely no help cable managing right now, so we're just gonna have to use zip ties and hopes and dreams for this one. Nothing to zip it to? Yeah, yeah, exactly. I don't know what we're gonna do here. But we'll figure it out, man. Zip tie to the fans? We could. We could zip tie to the... Do these fit? We just want to make sure that the cables don't... We could do that. Alright, what should I do? I'm think... Oh, this has to plug in too, actually. This is the PWM connector that goes into the motherboard. Where do we have headers? Oh, we got a header right down here for system fan. So that'll probably be the best spot for that, because then we can just bundle all this stuff together. Okay, I think that's what we're gonna start with. Dude, this is not gonna look good, man. I was feeling optimistic about cable managing this, and I have already lost confidence. There's no way I'm gonna be able to make this look good. What if we just like, I'm thinking like a zip tie like that? Just to start with some sort of organization. Maybe like a little something something like that. Oh yeah, it's beautiful. And then all of this, maybe we just bundle up into like an ugly little bundle here. Dude, I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe like this. Maybe something like that. What about the GPU? Yeah, we'll do that as once everything is done. Like that. Dude, that won't look bad. That won't look bad. Actually, we can probably sneak this in. Actually, I don't know where to put that yet, so I'm not going to sneak that in. Maybe a zip tie or two over here. Where are you putting the hub? Yeah, that's TBD. The hub does have a 3M sticker on it though, so we can actually permanently place it somewhere. There we go. Okay. Okay. Maybe like one of these? One of these numbers like that? That way we got this nice little bundle there. It's actually out of the way airflow wise. Okay. Okay. Not hating this. Now what are we gonna do with all this? Oh, dude, I'm so lost. Where would be the best place to put something like this? Do we route it all the way up here? Or do we route it all the way? Dude, I'm kind of leaning down here. Yeah. I think we might hide it. Bottom. Yeah, that's where I'm thinking. Where's the RGB? Dude, we didn't get that far yet. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning down here. And then let's unplug these. That way they route underneath this bundle. Dude, this is tougher than a gaming PC, man. A gaming PC case will give us help. This one, we got no help, man. And then what? Do I just like twist tie all of this? Kind of bundle that up together like so. Oh man, dude, this is not gonna look pretty. I love cable managing. I can't say the same, man. Oh wait, what if we just bundle... Just lost all that work. What if we just bundle all of this into this bundle? Like, yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, what if we just bundle the... Dude, that's gonna be a nightmare. Dude, let's use Velcro. That's gonna be a nightmare if I have to troubleshoot. That's more of a Velcro job. How about like 2 of these Velcro straps? Those red and green wires look delicious. Come on, man. Don't be weird. Yeah, I think that's the play. We're just gonna Velcro this whole thing. That way we just have a huge dude. That's definitely good. That's the play. That's the play. Let's cut these zip ties before we do that though. Okay, we got that. I need a spool of those straps. Yeah, I buy these a lot. I buy like four at a time. These little Velcro straps, dude, these are all over my house. All over. Okay. Poke a hole in the Velcro and screw it down to the HDD mounting hole. Painful. They actually do have nice holes. Don't clip that. Dude, that's actually a pretty good idea, but that's a little too advanced for me. I like that idea though. What case is that? I actually don't remember. I think it's from Rosewill. I think it's a Rosewill 2U server chassis. They don't exactly have pretty names with server chassis. Or memorable ones. Okay, I think we might be on to something here. There we go. Oh yeah. Huh? Is that it? Let's get another one. I don't know how this 20... Dude, Dude, I'm getting close to just doing the whole thing. I think that might be the play. What if I just crank this? Dude, okay, this is obnoxious. We're gonna lose all. This is not gonna work, man. I am no longer having fun. Dude, I could just close this down right now and we'll be set. I don't know what to do. This shouldn't even be in here. I don't know how this got intertwined. Yeah, we got to take that whole thing out. There we go. Okay. Separate that. Out of sight, out of mind, dude. That's what I'm thinking. I got about 3 more minutes left of attention span before I move on. What's better, this or the Fantex case? Yeah, that one was tough. Yeah, that XT M3 or whatever it was called, that was a tough one for cable managing. But that these are not comparable. This is a server. This isn't supposed to be easy for cable managing. That one was. That was supposed to be good. Okay, now we just got to decide what to do with this thing. Yeah, just like that. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. It doesn't need to be better than that. Let's zip tie these down. Slap a cover on it and be done. Dude, I would if you guys didn't judge me. How many people are gonna be judging? We'll just kind of work our way up here and then we'll be done. Run them under the bundle? Yeah, I'm kind of regretting these being on top now. Should they be under? We can go under. Yeah, we'll go under. I think that's better. Clip it? No, don't be clipping, man. Oh, that's going to be hard to unclip. That's going to be really hard. There we go. All right, we'll go under. We'll go under. We can make that happen. We can switch back. Okay. All right. 24 pin. There we go. Super glue? Dude, that might be the play. That might be sharp. All right, this is the last thinning bald spot shot of the... Oh, okay, I don't think you can see it. We're good. This is where you need the tiny raccoon fingers up here, man. That's a little tricky. There we go. All right, that's about them. Duct tape? We could use some duct tape. Should we get the duct tape out, man? That might help. I would zip tie from the top to the PSU area. Dude, I don't know what you're saying, man, but I'm almost done. It sounds sharp, but we're almost there. Okay, there we go. All right, one more and I'm done. That's as far as I'm gonna go. How about like that? No, that won't work. We gotta somehow get this down here like this. Oh! Stargazer with the $20 YouTube super chat. My goodness. Says, hope you have a great night, Zach. Good luck with the build you got going. And let's hope it doesn't literally blow up in your face. What? Yeah, I'm hoping that too, man. I'm gonna get to bed after a 14-hour day of work, working over 90 feet in the air. 14 hours, 90 feet in the air, dude. That's up, dude. That's up there. Wow. Thank you very much. I also hope this doesn't blow up in my face. Is bro a fortune teller? Why do we think this is gonna blow up? Why are we even concerned that this is gonna blow up? Dude, that actually doesn't look that bad. Not amazing. That doesn't look absolutely terrible though. Right? Or does it? It certainly doesn't look as good as I thought it would. But that also at the same time doesn't look terrible. Looks fine to me. Yes, it will blow up. Dude, that doesn't look bad. That's fine. That's dare I say not too shabby. All All right, last part. We got a little GTX 1050 Ti low profile. No external power required. If all goes well, that's just going to plug in right here, like so. I don't have the I/O port for it, unfortunately, so it's not going to be able to lock into anything other than the PCIe slot. But there we go, man. That is the new 2025 home server. We got a 12-core 3900X, 64 gigs of RAM, a 1 terabyte SSD for the operating system, and a 4 terabyte SSD for all of the virtual machines. Dude, that's not bad. That'll work.